Okay, I do not know who needs to hear this, but you cannot wake up in the morning, doom scroll for however long before actually getting out of bed, rush out the door, stop at Starbucks to get a sugary latte, grab some food quickly after you hit the point of being so hungry that you need food immediately, barely get any movement in your day, and then wonder why you're stressed and anxious and just do not feel very good. And I am only calling you out because sometimes we need someone to call us out to be like, oh yeah, I really don't want to feel that way, but I'm kind of doing this to myself. So today we are going to chat about 11 healthy habits that will actually help you feel your best, especially if you're a woman. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, my name is Brianna, and around here we chat everything wellness, self-improvement, and closing the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. So if that is something you are looking to do this year, then you should subscribe and stick around. So diving into the habits that will help you feel your best. Number 1 is starting the day hydrated and fed. One of the best things you can do in the morning is drink a full glass of water as soon as you wake up. When we wake up, we are pretty dehydrated because we've just spent however many hours not consuming any fluid because we've been asleep or at least laying in bed. And when we're dehydrated, we can feel so groggy. You know, when you wake up and you're just like, oh, I just feel like I can't wake up. I feel so groggy. I feel so sluggish. You can help yourself not feel that way by rehydrating yourself in the morning. It can help you think so much clearly. It can help you focus better and just feel more energized when you wake up. And everyone is a little bit different, but I personally believe that starting the day, within the first hour or two of waking up, with some kind of food, with a meal of sort, even if it's fairly small, but some food with a source of protein helps us feel so much better throughout the day as well, because we're not waiting until our blood sugar crashes or that we're so hungry that we feel like we need food immediately to eat. This can help our body not feel as stressed and can help us regulate our blood sugar, especially for the rest of the day. How we start our day impacts how our blood sugar is regulated throughout the day. And I'm sure most of us know that a blood sugar crash, a huge energy crash in the middle of the day, just does not feel good. Starting your day with a high protein meal can help you stay fuller and feel more satiated through the rest of the day, which really helps with appetite management as well. Number 2 is getting outside. Numerous studies have shown just how beneficial this is, both for vitamin D and for just regulating our stress response. Vitamin D is so important for our overall health and well-being, and a lot of us don't get nearly enough of it for a variety of reasons, mostly just how our society lives today. And I'm sure most of us have experienced this, but studies also have shown just how helpful being in nature is for lowering our stress response, for calming our systems down, for experiencing, more calm and peace. And I know for me personally, I am always in my best headspace when I'm getting outside pretty regularly, when I'm able to be out in the sunlight. There have definitely been days when I have gone outside and I'm laying in the sun and I just immediately feel this sense of like, oh my goodness, life is so good. I love my life so much. I immediately just feel so full of gratitude. It is honestly amazing what being outside and getting a little bit of sunlight can do for your headspace. Number 3 is making sure you are doing things that are fun and fulfilling for you. I feel like when we think about healthy habits, we think about, okay, I know I should eat healthy. I know I should exercise. I know I need to get enough sleep. But oftentimes when we think about supporting our health and well-being, we don't think about fun and play and fulfillment. But those are all equally as important as the other things. They play such a key role in our health and well-being. So we want to make sure that we're prioritizing this as well. Make sure you are going and doing things that are really fun to you. And I don't mean what maybe society has deemed fun, what comes with a connotation of being fun, but noticing, when you go out and do things, when do you feel that joy? When do you feel like you're having a lot of fun? And then doing those things more often. Same thing with fulfillment. What kind of activities and hobbies make you feel so fulfilled? And when you find those things, when you know what those things are, make sure you do those more often. You will feel your best when you incorporate more fun and fulfillment into your day-to-day life. Number 4 is paying more attention to your cycle and your patterns with it. As menstruating human beings, I think we can do so much for ourselves when we pay more attention to our menstrual cycles and get to understand them better and get to pick up on what our patterns tend to be to help us better understand our experience and how we can best support our body. For example, maybe we start paying more attention to our cycle and realize, oh, around this time of my cycle every single month, I get super moody. And so when we're having that moody day, instead of making some kind of judgment around it, oh, why am I like this? Why am I so emotional? We can have that understanding and go, oh, this is just where my body's at right now. We don't have to make it mean anything. We can just let ourselves feel how we're feeling and move on. Or maybe at a certain point in our cycle, what we typically do for exercise just sounds awful. And instead of feeling like, oh, why do I just not have the motivation right now? We can recognize where we're at in our cycle and see, oh yeah, during this time, I always feel this way. Maybe the best way I can support myself right now is to just go for a walk or do some very light form of exercise. Or maybe you notice that you tend to be a lot hungrier during a certain part of your menstrual cycle and okay, around this time, I'm just going to support my body and eat a little bit more than maybe I usually do. And supporting ourselves in the physical ways and understanding those things, especially our patterns with our cycle, is so important and so beneficial and so helpful. But I think the greatest benefit really comes from the psychological aspect. If we have a day or two where we are spiraling about something and we start to notice, oh yeah, every time around this time in my cycle, I start to overthink things, or I start to spiral, or I have, these kinds of thoughts, we can just recognize them as a byproduct of our hormones rather than being maybe what we deem our truth. Number 5 is paying attention to the content that you consume. Whether we really realize it or not, the content that we consume makes such a difference in how we feel on a day-to-day basis. And I am not here to tell you that this form of content is great and is what you should consume, and you need to completely let go of this type of content, but rather just noticing how different forms of content make you feel. And this is more of a personal take, but I think it would be really helpful to do some form of content detox, just really not consuming a whole lot for a period of time, maybe a couple of days or a week. And when I'm talking about content, I'm talking about all of it, what we're watching, what we're listening to, both with podcasts and music, what we're looking at on social media, even reading articles. Then as you add things back in, just notice how those things make you feel. I am definitely a more sensitive person than your average person, but I have noticed such a big difference with this. I first noticed this in college when I decided to stop getting on Twitter. And maybe this is just the type of people I was following on Twitter, but I noticed that it just made me feel so much better mentally. And since then, and since learning more about energetics as well, I have really noticed such a difference when I am far more intentional with what I'm consuming. There have been points in my life where I have been very intentional about consuming only very uplifting things, and I was shocked at how good I felt. I swear I was just living on cloud 9. So maybe do a content detox and then just notice how things make you feel after you consume them. How does the music that you listen to actually make you feel? How do you actually feel after you scroll on Instagram? And with the content that doesn't make you feel as good or maybe makes you feel a little anxious, just dialing back on that. I just use natural lighting for my videos, and apparently it's a cloudy day. So sorry about the lighting changing so much. But getting back to it, number 6 is daily movement. This one is probably not a surprise whatsoever, but it is a reminder that I feel like we oftentimes need. Getting daily movement and exercise, that is not just about the aesthetic benefits, it has real benefit on our physical and mental well-being. There are so many brain benefits, like helping your focus, helping your attention span, helping your productivity. And I feel like it can be so easy to deprioritize your exercise and your daily movement, to push it down your priority list, especially when life gets really busy. It can just feel like that's just not the top priority right now. But when you look at whatever your actual priorities in that moment feel like, what your top priorities are, daily movement is only going to support those things. So even if it is just a 10-minute mobility session, even if it is just a 15-minute daily walk, getting in some form of continuous movement, not just walking from your house to your car each day, is going to support you feeling your best. It is going to give you more mental clarity. It will help you feel more energized. It might help you feel more confident. And all of that is just going to support whatever else is going on in your life at the moment. So getting in some form of movement every single day, even if it is just a 15-minute walk or a short Pilates or yoga session, whatever it is so helpful. Number 7 is staying hydrated. When we are living like a raisin, we are not going to feel good. We are more likely to feel lethargic and sluggish and like we have brain fog and just can't think that clearly. We may feel like crap during our workouts. Not being hydrated just does not feel good. There have been numerous occasions where I will suddenly feel just so exhausted and like I can't think that clearly and wonder, okay, did I not sleep very well last night? Am I starting to get sick? Like, what is happening here? Why do I feel like this? And then just realize, oh, I haven't drank any water in like 3 hours. And then I will go and grab some water and feel like a new person. Again, I am a little bit more sensitive than your average Joe, but it makes such a difference. The general recommendation right now is to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. So if you're not quite getting that, work on that. Number 8 is spending time with yourself. Spending time with yourself is so amazing because it helps you really learn more about yourself. It helps you understand yourself better. It can help you cultivate such a strong relationship with yourself. Learning to enjoy your own company really strengthens your sense of self and can help you develop a deep-rooted sense of peace and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. And that can impact every aspect of your life because that can completely change the kind of decisions that you make. It can change how you show up for yourself. It can improve your confidence and completely change how you show up around others. For example, it can help you have better boundaries with people. So if you don't currently spend a lot of time with yourself or you don't feel like you have a very strong relationship with yourself, then I highly recommend that being something that you start to implement more into your life. Number 9 is eating mostly nutrient-dense foods. This is probably, again, another one that feels kind of obvious, but that really does make that much of a difference. Eating nutrient-dense foods helps your body operate more optimally, and that doesn't just impact your physical health, but it impacts your mental health as well. You feel so much better when you're actually giving your body the nutrients that it needs in order to operate well. And when you're not giving it as much of the stuff that is going to inflame it and irritate it. For me personally, not only did I just feel better in general, but it completely changed my day-to-day experience because I used to have a whole lot of GI issues. I would get a lot of abdominal pains. And with eating healthier, with eating more nutrient-dense foods, real whole foods, all of that went away for me. I also used to struggle with anxiety and depression, and I wouldn't say it's the only thing that changed it, but it definitely made a huge difference. And piggybacking off of that, number 10 is paying more attention to the foods that actually make you feel good. So just paying attention to when you eat certain things, how do you feel afterward? We're all different. We have bio-individuality. So what may make someone feel really good may make someone else not feel super great after. So just paying attention to how different foods make you feel and dialing down the foods that don't make you feel super great after and dialing up the foods that do. And lastly, number 11 is having a bedtime routine. This is one that I resisted for a long time. I was just like, no, I don't think I need that. Like, I don't really have an interest in that. But once I finally implemented one, it was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. I fall asleep so much faster. I definitely sleep better. And I just generally feel better. And if we think of things in terms of a domino effect, in terms of how we feel and what our habits end up being, we can usually trace things back to our bedtime routine, at least to some extent. For example, if we stay up super late and maybe we stay up doom scrolling with all the blue light in our face, we may not get very good sleep or not enough sleep. And then we wake up super tired and groggy and just don't feel super great. And then that cascades into a day full of not making great decisions, not sticking with the healthy habits that we want to. And then this cycle might perpetuate itself. Whereas maybe if we went to bed earlier and we got a really great night's sleep, then we wake up feeling a whole lot better. We wake up earlier, and that cascades into a day full of making better, healthier decisions. So even as simple as it may seem, it can create such a big difference in the type of life that we create. And as an extra, our bedtime routine can be such a great place for us to throw in some of those healthier habits that really amplify us feeling our best. It can be whatever you want, it can look however you want, but having some kind of routine that you follow most nights can be so helpful. I am just such a big believer in doing things that help us feel our best, because when we feel our best, we show up as better versions of ourselves. And so not only do we feel better in our day-to-day lives and enjoy our lives more, but because we're also showing up as better versions of ourselves, we are also creating a greater impact on everyone around us. So if you know you want to feel better in your own life, if you want to become a better version of yourself, if you want to close the gap on where you are now versus where you know you want to be, then you should definitely subscribe and stick around, because that is what we do around here. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. It helps so much. But thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.